still on the way. Should be coming in a few minutes.
Okay.
Don't worry, the bus will be.
えぐい。これはえぐい。マジでえぐい。今普通に帰られへん。びっしょびしょですわ。でもいっぱい買った。もう靴がびっしょびしょで緑色やのに真っ黒な色になってる。でねー、日清カップヌードル3つセット。かわいい。7パタカヨーグルト。あ、テクスチャーめっちゃ固めや。お、ん？うん。
There's no reason I can't choose me. You know that they've been good to me. You make it hard for me to choose me. Dancing and kissing the kitchen makes me forget I forgive them. Moments only I don't listen. Back again, crashing out on shrooms. I got 'em cursing you so many problems. Vacationing in rock bottom. Back again.
When you are perfectly free to feel stuck or not stuck, then you're unstuck. Because actually, nothing can stick on the real mind, and you will find this out if you watch the flow of your thoughts.
train, babe.
And so you will notice that thought follows thought follows thought when you are just ruminating.
哪个地方应该都。
Me close and hold me fast. This magic spell you cast. This is Levian Rose. When you kiss me, heaven sighs. And though I close my eyes, I see Levian Rose. When you press me to your heart, I'm in a world apart, a world where roses bloom. And when you speak, angels sing. La journée s'annonce belle. Nous marchons le tapis vert. Je me sens couché. Et je respire comme pour une première fois avec toi.
時間コピー。今1泊目のホテルをチェックアウトしたので、これから2泊目のホテルに向かいます。これが1泊目のホテルやったんですけど、今日の2泊目のホテルはこの道まっすぐ行って左出たら多分すぐにあるはずで、曲がったらもうこの先に見えるこれが2泊目のホテル。わあ、あの犬かわいい。
富點講啊？真係死得太耐。英文啊，富點講啊？dress 係衫外套，係啊，太耐唔記得點講，但係好得意啊！一諗。
Lying on the moon, my dear, I'll be there soon. It's a quiet and starry
美味しすぎる。
咩嚟㗎？
美术图硕经典学院风格。
Just like a sad song on a rainy day, just like a heartache that will go away. All I ever know is feeling alone. Just like a treasure that you cannot reach.
かわいい。かわいいよ。ライチの匂いかな。パンパンパン。茶葉です。 めっちゃ可愛い。これめっちゃいいかも。
I try but nobody's listening. You're different from everyone else. You're the only thing that I like about myself.